but let's start it again. So we just started reviewing the roadmap. We just found that there is still some PRs on the review. First is for implementing PDB, and the second one is for certificates. Right now, there is some design. Kirill, do you need anyone to review this? Or do we somehow accept it, this design, or what should we do with that?
Yeah, I just wrote down the some thoughts and wrote down how Kamaji does it. And to be honest, I just copied what I wrote. I just copied it to the issue. And this PR about the design, it will be, it will transform to the overall design of authentication. So like it will be in the future. And now I am trying to create certificates, NCA and secrets, mount them to ETCD cluster and enable authentication. After I do it manually, I will implement it in the code. So I have some open questions here, but after I commit something, after I create draft merge request, I will raise these open questions with our maintainers.
Okay, so this is currently on by you, so up to you. Not sure how to say it correctly, but yeah. The second question in agenda, where it was? Sorry, it is here.
No, it's two.
No, yeah, here.
It is a proposal from me to maybe to make it regular, like every 2 weeks, for example, and also increment minor versions instead of patches, because it goes against semantic versioning.
I think we have to decide which is going to MVP, and until we not released MVP, we can't go to the feature version. I think that version 0.1.0 should be MVP version. Like that's the first version which we committed to be used in not production, but like in pre-prod or some environments like that. I would say that this version will be implemented in Cozy Stack. Yep, Timofey?
Yeah, guys, I think we botched semantic versioning a little bit because generally O1 starts from 010 and not 001. But
yes, yeah.
And while the major version is 0, you're kind of conflating minor versions and patch versions into the patch version. And if you've got some really breaking changes, then you increment the minor version. And that's how you go until you commit to some kind of stable release, and then you finally increment the major version to 1. So, yeah. So while we're just adding new features, I think we should just bump the patch version until we start really breaking something, and then we might want to bump the minor version.
So what is the suggestion to make next release be minor, like 1010?
Yeah, that sounds good. Like because we're breaking something constantly, but if you want to, I don't know, commit to some alpha testing of this operator in Cozy Stack, yeah, that sounds like a good time to bump this.
Okay, I agree. I like this idea. Anyone against of this? To make the next version of ETCD operator 010. Okay, so next release will be 010, and we'll change it here in milestones. And after this one, it should be 0, 2, 0.
It depends what will be included. If only bug fixes and patches, then 0 to 1, and if new functionality is included, then 0 to 0.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you. So right now we are committing. We are talking about milestone, and the features should be implemented in this version. The next feature version will be 0.2.0, and next patch version probably 0.1.1 or something like that.
I guess we can just stick with next version, like just name it as next, and then decide what correct version name will be.
What do you mean?
So you can, I guess you can rename 0.2.0 to just to next, and then we decide like what changes will be included in that and what version number we would have.
Got it. Okay, I'll align it later. Still, the next proposal to create releases regularly every 2 weeks. I was thinking about every 1 week. What do you think?
In agile world, even in enterprise, releases are created usually even 2 weeks. To be honest, I think even every 1 week seems to me too fast for us, because currently we are creating every 2 weeks, and I have some doubts that we will be able to create every 1 week. Another opinions, how you see?
I guess we won't have so much changes for 1 week releases, so it'll be good to stay with 2 weeks for now.
Yes.
Or maybe even less if like there's no any changes to release yet.
Yes, our tasks are too big to release them per week basis.
Okay, let's try doing that. So I will put the date to milestones. So I will see the progress and where is deadline. I would like to note that after tomorrow, there will be meeting with ETCD SIG group, and everybody is welcomed. There will be discussion about our operator and opportunity to use it for in ETCD SIG. There were a question about end-to-end tests. Can anybody introduce yourself and this topic?
It's me. So not so long time ago, there was a discussion in Telegram channel that we have some bugs. Yeah, and guys posted some logs that were not caught manually, and and we just discussed a bit about end-to-end tests and kind of dropped this topic because we have more and more functionality, and now it is quite complex to test it manually, and everything can be missed easily. So I personally can't implement like the skeleton for these tests because I don't have this experience. So that's why I posted this topic to OpenFlow. Maybe you have some thoughts about that.
I think Minikube probably Minikube project should solve that. You can run Kubernetes cluster in a pipeline and then write tests. I don't know.
There were sorry for interrupting you. There was kind. Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Tests. They already run. Already there is a pipeline that starts an operator, installs Threat Manager and Prometheus, something with Prometheus. Yeah, but it now it just tests that operator can start in the cluster, and we should add something like install and to apply CR etc cluster and wait until it's okay, it's ready. and change something or something like that. Alex took this task, but I didn't hear from him from a week maybe.
What kind of tool can be used for running those tests? I would prefer to make it on GoMega or stuff like that, but I have no experience with that.
It's already implemented in our code, so I mean the platform for running ETCD tests in Kubernetes pipeline in Kubernetes cluster, so it wouldn't be a problem to just put some tests in there.
Oh, that's cool. So it is in our project already.
It's a part
Yep.
of KubeBuilder. So
Mhm.
KubeBuilder by default uses this env test package to spin up like a test environment, and it by default has the installation of Cert Manager Prometheus operator, and all we basically have to do is just write some tests on top of that.
That's so cool. Yeah, let's try that. I'm doing that. So
I made changes in this part of code like yesterday, so I think I can try to do this one.
okay, thank you.
Maybe not for everything, but for some parts of
Yeah.
code. Yeah.
Yeah, some like basic.
You mean to
that-
write a code or to run pipeline for running those tests?
Yeah, just
Very
guys,
cool.
one word of warning. I was writing my own small operator a few weeks ago, and I used the Go test from the command line, and these tests picked up my kubeconfig environment variable and went into a production cluster, tried to install Prometheus operator and Cert Manager, and then after the tests, they deleted them. And that nuked all of my Prometheus custom resources and all of my Cert Manager custom resources in my production cluster. So
I
be careful.
prevented this case in our makefile.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's prevented if you use the make file, but if you just do go test, then it just picks up your local kubeconfig. So I know.
In our Go test, I mean this tools which runs Go test, it just uses our makefile, so there are no problem here.
Okay, yeah.
I guess we also need to to cover when like something like smoke testing only in end-to-end, because like end-to-end test, it's like everywhere, it's harder to write, and I prefer to stick with like a lot of unit tests that
Okay.
checking something inside our code, and like smoke testing in end-to-end that you can like install, like run simple ETCD cluster, delete it, and delete operator. So like I guess it's all the flows that we need to cover in end-to-end for now. Maybe later we can extend it, but like for now, just to verify that like major pass is working.
That's an interesting. Can you tell a little bit more about smoke tests, because I'm not aware of this?
Like smoke tests is just when you don't test like everything and just verify some really easy major pass. Like, I don't know, for some website you can log in and buy something. So you check only these scenarios, not only like restore mail, restore password scenarios. Like just
What the difference
just simple
between
testing.
what the difference between smoke tests and end-to-end tests? Or it's just two different
I would
terms
say
to describe the same?
it's different classification.
Yes.
It
yes,
is not
exactly.
different. Smoke test, it is short test of something.
Yes.
Like very short and easy.
It can be anything, unit test, end-to-end test. So yeah, it's different classification.
Got it. So end-to-end tests can be to create Kubernetes cluster, to install Cert Manager, to install something else, then run smoke tests, then destroy everything. That
Yeah, like
should
we
be
need
included.
like all of these will be end-to-end tests. So like we need to verify our some major pass our user will met, like all of
Honestly,
our users will met.
I thought that smoke test is only about like listing some classes inside of some code or some functions. It's not like that running in real cluster. I mean, even dev cluster. So it's like two different types of tests.
Yeah, okay, it's like there is a huge amount of different classifications about testing and automated testing. So like what I mean is just to test in end-to-end only like some major paths. Install,
Yeah, I agree
run
with you.
ETCD, delete, and delete operator.
How
Yep,
about
yep.
using integration tests from Helm chart?
I'm
It-
not
It has
Possible.
test hooks, so you can run deploy operator, then run Helm test, and it will run ETCD cluster. Then you can create some job or wait for until it will be created, or trying to use it somehow.
I think Go test is better.
Yes,
Okay.
Golang with Helm chart sounds strange a bit. And but I think we needed also to test the strategy, like changing of some values in our custom resources, because not only creation is important, but also changes are important, and also when we implement some backups or scale up, scale down, also we will need to test that these procedures go 0 time. So and it
What
also
kind of changes you're talking about? You mean update operator from older version to newer one, or what do you mean? Or switching some options?
Switching some options, yes. Change image pool policy, change pod disruption budget. I mean pod disruption budget settings. Will they be applied correctly?
I guess it's easier to test it like with just integrate. So like we don't have unit tests, like it's exactly already integration test when we run like some reconciler, and like we can test in it. So like we don't need to provide like full end-to-end scenario like for all params. We can later set up like one end-to-end test for changing like something. But yeah, we need to test it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Alec, wanna to say something?
I think this discussion can be like not unlimited, but infinite. So let me suggest to this section. So I will prepare some test cases, like 2 or 3, and we'll send it in chat or in Slack, no matter what, and we will discuss it in asynchronous, so it will be better for my side, as you can see.
Okay, what about building framework or start using framework? Can you do that as well? Or you'll just prepare issue with use cases and design maybe?
We already have it.
We already have
Or
it.
I mean, not exactly the framework. I mean the thing which will run kind.
We already have it.
Oh, we have it. Cool.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We should only write test on top of this framework, and that's it.
Okay, I'll prepare an issue about that and I will assign it to you. Thank you. Is there any other topics we would like to talk about? Okay, let's.
Maybe can I ask if there are no any topics? Maybe I could ask a question.
Sure.
Could you please explain what are switch tests that we have? It's kind of integration test, but not integration or not full tests.
Suite? Never heard about that.
SUITE. It is.
Suite.
It is.
Suite.
It is pronounced as suite, I think.
Test suite.
It's just something that runs tests. It's for Gamega. Go. No, sorry. It's for Jingo. It's just a Go test file with one function that starts Jingo. For
like it's just an approach to group some test cases like in one like larger abstraction like a suite. So for example, I have a test suite to test like all related to my factory in stateful set. And inside I have like few tests, like what if I create stateful set with like incorrect owner reference. So it will be test itself.
Interesting.
So and yeah, it's not related to end-to-end tests. Yeah, it's
Nope.
It's
okay.
related to tests in general. You will see the same pattern about test suite like in PyTest or no matter what tests in any language.
Mhm.
So just set of tests that you can run.
Okay,
Yeah, you
thanks.
can look more examples in Jingo documentations. There are like, I guess, good explanation for all of these abstractions that it's introduced.
All right, let's take a look at our PRs. We have to assign someone who would review this. As I told, I will assign myself to check Helm chart. Is anybody wants to do that as well? Okay, that's enough. The next one, authentication design.
It is draft, so you don't need to review it yet.
Okay. Add PDB to ETCD cluster. We have one reviewer, one approved, and we need a second one. Who can review this?
I was reviewing it, so I just will finish it.
Okay.
I guess you don't need to put assignee, like he's already in the reviewers, so
Yes. Mhm.
he will look on it. So like, I don't know, I guess assignee is like who is working on this
Yeah.
code. Or this
That
pull
makes
request.
sense. Okay. I will just write it down here.
I just left some comments there, and I just will need to look how they were
If they
changed.
solved or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is future customize probe settings in pod spec. It is stuck on you probably.
Yeah, I'm waiting for like this comment will be addressed. So like we don't need initial delay seconds at all if we use start a probe. So I guess we should remove it to 0.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll just request a re-review on you.
Oh, it's
from you.
already awaiting changes. So yeah, okay. Like
The next one.
yeah, like you don't need to request review because like I won't be now notified like when something will change in this America. I
Oh, it's
won't be
not changed.
notified.
Sorry,
Yeah,
so
like,
it's not
and if-
on you. It's only
yeah,
me.
if it's like awaiting changes, I will get notification when like after change something, it will request review automatically from me again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry,
It works this
just
way.
remove
No,
yourself from here.
leave it as is. It's okay.
And the next one, Andrei is provided feature for validating extra arcs. On whom is it stacked? Sergey approved, and we need someone else.
There was hard discussion. Do we need this validation at all?
Yes, there is a hard discussion about where to put webhooks and do we need such validation at all?
That's a good question. Should we talk about that right now?
Like
I think-
initial request for this feature was not me, but Georg, and he's not here now. But like I mentioned initial idea in comments that like just forbid arguments that we generate by operator in extracts, and that's also like I guess it should be as simple as possible. And for now,
Yeah.
it's like slightly harder than I expected.
Yes, and we moved webhooks to factory to internal package edit interfaces Don't open it. It's also generated.
Okay, then we have to decide first, do we need this or we don't need this? I'm not sure who is initial, you said Georg?
Yes. I just created an issue, but initially it was requested by Georg in
Is
I
there
guess
any
in my pull
issue
request.
or is it described anything anywhere?
In 77. Validate extract field in kind. Yes, this one.
As I understood, the main idea why we don't have to validate them, so that ETCD has a lot of extra args, and we kind of proxy this interface of extra args to our place. And usually such extra args are not validated at all. So usually it's just proxy of the interface, and it is validated in the application itself. I mean,
Yeah, but
in
we need we cannot pass it as is. We need to merge it with like initial args because we specify initial cluster args as.
Wait, we are using environment variables for that. We don't use args at all. We use them, but we
use some args for now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true for initial cluster or something like
If
that.
user will try to use initial something, it won't start at all. It will say that I have got a variable, I have got a command line flag, and I have a conflict. I don't want to start. I tried it. It didn't work.
Okay, I still not understanding the purpose of this PR. Is it validating what?
It also validating like what expected and validated that like extracts has no like extra trailing dashes, and that's all. So I guess we can merge it and it will be okay. We just need to finally decide where to place webhooks and store its code and fix it like.
Okay, and this also introduces webhooks or, oh, it already
No,
has.
it was already. It's all.
And why
all
is it
used
moved
for-
to internal?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's about move to internal.
Why? I just asking why, because I don't know.
All
I
for circular dependencies.
Yeah, it also some hollyware about Go models from my site. So like for now we can read of my opinion here, and it's totally fine. And
I think
I'm
we
like-
have to choose one maintainer who will be responsible for Go structure and to ask him about the opinion. Who can do that? Kirill, Sergey, we have to vote about that. Because in this way, we will not come to agreement.
I guess we will come, like I also agree with like our guys to store webhooks with API itself for now and revisit it later if we need so. So like for now, I guess it's also better to stay like to store all webhooks with API.
Let's take a look how other projects are doing that.
I took a look. They don't validate it at all. I couldn't find an operator that moved webhooks to internal or to
Agree.
anywhere
Then we
place.
probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yes, that was my point. I don't want to move it.
Oleg wanted to say something, so he's pretty shy and doesn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, please go ahead.
No, I just realized in the middle of conversation that it makes no sense that I wanted to say.
Could please anyone write in this issue that we agreed internally to not place webhooks on internal, to move them out. And that's probably blocking change needed to be solved before we merge this. Nobody answers. Okay, I'll write it down. I will put this to my task list.
I can write it down, no problem.
Okay, Kirill, thank you. And bug scrap.
I also have like 2 small topics.
Yep.
One is related to bug scrap. I guess we can configure Dependabot for this repo to get like pull requests with some dependency updates. Can be good for us.
Probably used not Dependabot, but Renovate.
Dependabot included in GitHub, so like why not?
Because
already
it is not that customizable as Renovate, and also I have like, let's say, good experience with Renovate. It is much better.
With whom?
Okay, so like I guess
Renovate.
we can discuss it like out of this meeting later in chat. But okay, let's look on Renovate also as an option. My experience with it's like something pretty bad.
We'll discuss
Personally, I
it
like this
later.
idea for implementing Dependabot, but of course it can spawn a lot of issues and pull requests. I think for now we have no such many Go libraries, but it's always good to know that something has changed. Let's discuss it in chat.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody have nothing against of this. We just need to choose right bot. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Andrei, could you please write down the decision in the minutes that I could make a reference to? That it's not only my word that it was decided, just was written in the minutes.
Correct.
And can I place the link to this document here? So
Yeah, sure.
it is public, I think. It's fine.
Yep. It is publicly accessible to anyone. And for read and for writing, you just need to join the development group. As about Dependabot, Sergey, could you please make this question or I know pool on chat or just
okay.
to work on this?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And our question that I had is like some versioning like strategy for documentation. Like for now, in our documentation website, that's like pretty empty for now. I followed ETCD structure, and ETCD has like versions for every minor version. So like they have, like if you open ETCD docs, they will have like 3.6, 3.5, and etc. And ours also have 0.1 for now. But I guess like for now we can like just stay with something like unstable or like something and start to version our documentation after like some MVP release or after some stable release and later on.
That's a good question. I think we can have all of those versions and later just hide oldest ones or just show the latest one until we have MVP.
I guess it's just makes no sense to have like versions here for 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and etc.
Correct.
So like
Correct. Just feature version.
Only for minor versions and
just show the
next
latest one.
Okay. So I show like all unhidden one here. Like it's.
I mean, if we'll
just
have 0.2.0, it should be 0.2 just here, and show no 0.1. I think that it will have no much changes. So it's always better to show user just the correct version, because if he is using 0.1, it probably he sucks because it will not work the same way as I don't know how to explain this. But I think I understand this too, but I just don't know how to explain it.
Okay, and like
until we have any MVP, we just need to have some documentation, and it is always better to show just latest one. When we start having MVP, so anybody can stack on this version for a while, it's better to stack to provide a second version of this documentation.
Yeah, okay, then we need, do we have like some sort of release checklist for now, like what we need to do when we releasing like some minor version or like something? And it's better to have something like, I don't know, release docs about releasing and etc. Like how to make release. Like someone who made like 0.1 release should create like duplicate all documentation to 0.2, and all later changes should be accepted only in it.
Who was creating the first release? Really, I guess it was you. Yeah. Could you please just create an issue? What should be done? And we will assign it maybe back to you. So, or you can just directly create PR. I'll create issue. You'll create PR for describing just few steps you need to create a release. Okay.
Well, there wasn't many steps. I just opened releases and pushed publish button.
I think. What about adding tags?
GitHub creates tags itself.
For the every
Change
release
list is created by workflow.
Okay, you can just write that you
like how it works internally to
no. Just we can just write that we are using GitHub releasing feature.
Yeah.
Okay, я will open issue.
Okay, that's all from my side.
Okay, thank you. As about issues, is there anything we need to solve? Probably nobody using it yet, and there is just development issues. Does anybody wants to talk about this? That's probably already discussed. Helm docs documentation. Yeah, that's part of Helm chart. Okay. In this way, I would like to say that hello. Yeah, I'm just stuck a little. Come on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
We hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, my PC just gets stuck, so I think we can finish the meeting. Thank you, everybody. It was nice experience speaking English. I really appreciate it, and I like it. I think the next time we can to align this meeting with SIG ETCD guys, and let's see you after tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Thanks all.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.